Glucose transporter. This transporter molecule is present on the plasma membrane of nearly every cell of the body, in every tissue and in every organ. And as the name indicates, it is specifically engaged in the transportation of glucose molecules into the cell. And blood plasma has a glucose concentration of about 5 millimole. Glucose enters the erythrocyte. You know that erythrocyte is the blood cell actually, by facilitated diffusion using this glucose transporter, and at a rate of about 50 times greater than the uncatalyzed diffusion rate. That means in the absence of a glucose transporter, how many molecules of glucose can enter into RBC? 50 times greater will be the rate if a glucose transporter is used. Glucose transporter is actually given the name GLUT, and this GLUT has different numbers: GLUT1, GLUT2, GLUT3, etc., depending upon the tissue and the cell upon which it is present. When it is present on the erythrocyte membrane, we call it GLUT1. And this GLUT1, the glucose transporter of the erythrocyte membrane, is an integral protein with 12 hydrophobic segments, and each of them is forming a membrane spanning helix. And side by side assembly of several helices produces a transmembrane channel lined with the hydrophilic residues that can hydrogen bond with the glucose as it is moving through the channel. So a specific channel is created by the transmembrane glucose transporter. And this process may be combined with an enzyme action. The substrate of the enzyme action may be considered as the glucose outside the cell, while the product may be considered as glucose inside the cell. And of course, the transporter protein may be considered as the enzyme. See here, this is substrate outside the cell. Substrate is glucose. Glucose outside the cell and the transporter protein, they are separated from each other. Here, they combine with each other. Outside the cell, the glucose is combining with the transporter, forming a complex. Remember, forward reaction has a constant of K1, while backward reaction has a constant of K minus 1. Okay. Then, this substrate, that means glucose transporter complex, it is bringing glucose inside the cell. Yes, inside means the glucose inside the cell, but still the glucose is bound with the transporter. That is why S in bound with the transporter. Of course, this transportation also has a forward constant and a backward rate constant. And then once the glucose is inside the cell, it is separated from the transporter. You see, substrate or glucose inside the cell is separated from this transporter T2. This separation also has a forward rate constant and a backward rate constant. So, it can be conveyed with an enzyme action. That's all. You see, as I told you earlier, this is the glucose transporter. It has several regions. You count how many regions are there spanning across the membrane. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. How many regions are there spanning across the membrane? And this is a view of the transporter in a cross section. A view of the transporter in a cross section. This is the view of the amino acids which are lining the inner region. See, they are actually hydrophilic in nature, so that they can interact with the glucose. And find out from which textbook is this diagram taken. Study this diagram very well. And again, you will study in your semester 3 enzyme kinetics. Then you will study such a graph, that initially when the concentration increases, the rate also increases. Finally, a moment will come when further increase in concentration does not result in a proportionate increase in the rate of the reaction. This is actually Michaelis-Menten equation and a corresponding graph for enzyme action. But the same graph is applicable for this transportation of molecules using glucose transporter and other transporters. Okay, the mechanism is somewhat similar, that's why. And look here, there is a Vmax, maximum velocity at a particular concentration of the molecules to be transported. What is kT? To find out kT, we need to find out 1 by 2 Vmax. If this is Vmax, half of this value is Vmax by 2 or 1 by 2 Vmax. What is the corresponding concentration of the substrate or the glucose? That concentration of the glucose or the substrate is what is called kT. If we are studying about the transportation of glucose, we say the concentration of glucose when the rate of transportation is half of the maximum rate is called kT. We will study a similar topic in enzyme kinetics also. And the different stages of transportation. What are we studied so far? First of all, there is the transporter, glucose is coming there, binding with the transporter, and it is transported to the other side, and it is getting free, so that the transporter is again free to receive another molecule of glucose. Same thing only, same thing. See, no chemical bonds are made or broken in the transportation of the glucose into the cell. Neither the substrate nor the product is intrinsically more stable because there is no chemical reaction taking place. And the process is fully reversible. Transportation is fully reversible. That's why we used an equation there in the previous slide. Substrate in and substrate out. Such an equation we used. Because this transportation is fully reversible. And another feature is that the glucose transporters, GLUTs, are specific for the, or they are sensitive to the concentration of glucose. For example, GLUT1 has a kT of 1.5 millimole. Different GLUT molecules have different kT values. And remember, 3 hallmarks of passive transport: high rate of diffusion down a concentration gradient, saturability and specificity, all are shown by GLUT1 molecule. 12 types of glucose transporters are there in human genome. Each of them has a unique kinetic properties, unique kT values, etc. And they are distributed in different tissues. And these tissues are often involved in different functions as well. Let us see a chart. Look here. GLUT1 is present in many cells, ubiquitous in nature. Function is basal glucose uptake. GLUT2 is present in liver, pancreatic islets and intestine. And in the liver, its function is removal of excess glucose from the blood. In the pancreas, regulation of insulin release. Like that, these are the different GLUTs, and they are present in different tissues. Try to find out their function also. Coming to active transport. This active transport is utilizing ATP. It is against a concentration gradient. Of course, transporter molecule is involved. And as we found earlier in another slide, there is primary active transport and secondary active transport. In a primary active transport, solute accumulation is directly coupled to an exergonic chemical reaction, that is hydrolysis of ATP. While in a secondary active transport, an endergonic transport of one solute, an uphill transport of one solute is coupled with an exergonic or downhill transportation of another solute. You might have heard of sodium coupled transportation of digested molecules from the alimentary canal. Sodium linked transportation like that. They are examples for secondary active transport. Yes, that is what is shown here. Primary active transport is there, secondary active transport is there. Sodium is actively transported, along with that one glucose also is transported. In the case of primary active transport, only sodium is being transported utilizing ATP. And in your higher secondary classes, you have studied three types of transportation: uniport, symport, and antiport. Here is a diagrammatic representation of the same thing. We are coming to a different topics, that is colloids. We will see it in another slide.